she said that information will get out there. These are people who are just trying to do their civic duty. The registrar does a good job. She said, and you have not exhausted your administrative remedies. And basically what she's saying there is that they're supposed to take complaints about alleged election improprieties, in this case saying that too many people were allowed to vote past the time the polls were supposed to close. They're supposed to take those complaints to the Secretary of State's office. She said it's the Secretary of State's office to determine what needs to happen next. And she said, it seems to me you've skipped steps in this process, and I'm not going to put an order out there that puts a requirement on the registrar for things he's already supposed to do and could bring these poll workers and basically make them subjects of ridicule and harassment. So she ruled against them just a few minutes ago here and said, it's not going to happen. You haven't exhausted your remedies. I'm not going to do it. And she actually said that. She said, I am not going to do this.
So, Anna, is there any sort of legal recourse at this point that the Trump campaign can pursue, or is this it?
Well, so the Trump campaign, the lawyers, once they realized, okay, we're not winning this battle, he said, well, then I want this record preserved, which, of course, she said it would be. It is preserved, always in a court. He said, I want this record preserved in case I want to claim spoliation, which basically, he's basically saying that if documents are later destroyed, documents that were said in court that the registrar, Joe Gloria, said in court that they do preserve as a matter of course, that he can then come back and say, hey, wait a minute, you said in court that they're preserved, and I'm going to say that this evidence was supposed to be preserved. You said it would be, and now I'm finding that records were destroyed. So, they have other steps that they can take. But that was his sort of, we're going to try to talk to them in a few minutes. We're waiting to see right now if the attorneys for the Trump organization are going to come downstairs. Everybody's kind of clustered down here on the floor with cameras, waiting to see who's going to come down and talk to us. It's interesting to note, too, that the registrar said in court, someone from the registrar's office said that early voting is different than voting on Election Day. And here's what she said. She said that if a line still exists, you can get in that line even if it's after 8 o'clock. This is what she said in court, that it's different from Election Day, and it always has been for early voting. So there's a real question raised there as to whether